Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of the Brick USA Q&A. Before we begin, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button because the channel is going for 100 subscribers by the end of 2025. We are almost halfway there. We are currently at 47 as of the time this video is being made. So we should be to 50 in the next couple of days, and then we only have 50 more to go to reach our goal. So please make sure you do hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit a like if you enjoy the video. But without further wait, let's go ahead and get into our questions here. So our first question here is sort of a two-part question, so we're going to focus on each part differently. So the first part of the question here says, with your dream LEGO set being what it is, what is your runner-up set and why do you love it? What makes it interesting to you and how you see the set? So for those of you who do not know what he's talking about, in the last Q&A video, I was asked, what is your dream LEGO set? And I said a 212th Battle Pack for $15 with 3 212th troopers and an airborne trooper. And I still think that is like my top dream set. That would be really nice. I would definitely army build that. But I would say that I have 3 other like really important dream sets that I really want LEGO to make. Obviously a new Playscale Venator would be nice, but that is not one of these 3. But getting into the 3 here in third place, I would put a Kashyyyk battle set. So this one is kind of my like crazy idea here, but it would be a combination of a lot of the Kashyyyk sets that LEGO has made over the years. It would be a AT-AP, AT-RT, droid gunship, corporate alliance tank droid, swamp speeder. You could throw in a droid carrier there. We see those on Kashyyyk, some spider droids. So definitely a lot of the builds that LEGO already has made, they could just update them a bit and then throw them all in one big set. And then getting into the minifigures here, I did go a little crazy here. I'm thinking a Yoda, Commander Gree, and then 10 of the Kashyyyk troopers, so that way you have enough to fill your vehicles, plus still have some left over. There could obviously be some Wookiees in here, like Chewbacca, Tarful, some plain Wookiee warriors, and you could throw in a little bit of builds for the Wookiees as well. And then there could obviously be a lot of battle droids, B1 and B2, because they do not cost that much for LEGO to make, so it would definitely be nice for LEGO to put a lot in there. So this one is the one that I do feel like is probably the least likely to happen, although I do think that a Kashyyyk-based set could happen at some point soon. But then getting into our second place here, this one I do think is a little more realistic now. It would be a Republic Light Cruiser, so it's mainly only seen in the Battlefront video games and the Clone Wars. You never see it anywhere else, although it is very similar to the Imperial Light Cruiser, which you see in The Mandalorian and Rebels. And then there is already a LEGO form of the Imperial one, and here is a picture of somebody who modded it and posted it on Reddit. And then here is another mock that Republic Bricks has made, and I do believe it is for sale on their website. So I do feel like LEGO could easily make it similar to the Imperial one, but just recolor it in the Republic colors. I do think that since there is the UCS Venator, the MIDI-scale Acclamator, and then now there's apparently supposed to be a MIDI-scale Venator coming out soon, that the next Playscale Republic set could be a light cruiser, so that way also, since the light cruiser is technically smaller, it would pair better with smaller sets that kids have to play with, so that way it's not instances where you have a Millennium Falcon and a Star Destroyer that are the exact same size. But into the minifigures here, I think a good selection would be the General Obi-Wan Kenobi, just like in the V19, 2 Phase 1 clone troopers, General Grievous, and a Magna Guard, or maybe 2 Magna Guards, because these are the main characters that we see on this ship in the Clone Wars when they show this. So, I mean, they could really put any Jedi and clone troopers in there, but I do think this would be nice, especially the Phase 1 clone troopers, because we don't really see those that much anymore these days in LEGO form. And then I think that the final runner-up set for me would be an AT-ACT. So for those of you who do not know what that is, it is the large walker that we see in Rogue One on the beaches of Scarif. That is the only time that we see them. in the Star Wars universe other than in video games on the Scarif maps. But I do think this would be a really cool set for LEGO to make. Rebrickable has a cool mock of it on their website that you can see here. But I actually think out of all these, this is the most realistic that could happen, especially since next year is the 10th anniversary of Rogue One. And I feel like LEGO has plenty of Playscale AT-ATs out there. So I think if they wanted to do something different and get a nice cool variant out there, they could do the AT-ACT instead. However, this set is in universe, the AT-ACT is technically supposed to be bigger than the AT-AT, but in LEGO it would probably be around the same size, maybe a little smaller. But into the minifigure lineup here, in Rogue One we do see the pilots of this set, or this vehicle, which are very similar to Shore Troopers. So they could easily just change the coloration on Shore Troopers and get 2 pilots. So there would be 2 of those in this set, and then for the rest, I think it would be good to have 2 Shore Troopers, or maybe 2 Stormtroopers, or both, but at least 1 Shore Trooper. And then if they wanted to do some Stormtroopers as well, they could. Maybe some Death Troopers, really any of the ones we see on Scarif. Then I think a Chirrut minifigure would be good, Blaze, and then some sort of Rebel Trooper. They could reuse a variant or use one of the ones from the 2016 Rogue One wave. So they have a lot of options here that they could easily do, but so it would definitely be nice to get a mix of Imperial Troopers to go with the AT-ACT, and then the Rebel people to fight against it. And I definitely think that this one could honestly happen at some point soon, but if it doesn't happen next year, it'll just be a random one, or it'll be one that LEGO will never make. So moving on to the next part of our question here, it says, in addition, would you ever be open to making other videos besides LEGO Star Wars? So, in short, no, I'm going to stick with LEGO Star Wars because that is what I am the biggest fan of. I do have some other things I collect. I have a lot of the Star Wars Funko Pops, and I also have some LEGO Marvel sets, but nothing quite as big as Star Wars, so that's like my main thing. Plus, in general, I'm just more of a Star Wars fan than a LEGO fan. So I'm gonna stick with LEGO Star Wars on this channel for now at least, and probably for a long time. So in short, no, I will not do anything besides LEGO Star Wars. So moving on to our final question here, it says, what do you think of the new August sets? So I know there has been a lot of talk about the August wave, and I did manage to acquire 4 of the sets, 2 of which I got early, and then my reviews for all 4 of these are on my channel now. So if you want an in-depth opinion on all 4 of these, you can go check those out now. They should all be up on my channel. I also have my 2 videos when the sets were first revealed talking about all of them specifically, so those are in depth as well. And then I also have a short ranking the wave. However, that was before I did purchase the sets, and I mean, I don't know how differently I would rank them, but I would probably just swap the AT-ST and the V19, put the V19 in second place because I do like that set. But overall, I feel like the main issue with the August wave is not the quality or design of any of the sets, but I feel like it is the prices, specifically with the Battle Pack and the Turbo Tank. I feel like those are overpriced. The Battle Pack especially, but I feel like the Turbo Tank is starting to grow on me a little, especially since the MTT is actually smaller than the Turbo Tank. Although it does use more pieces, but that is because the MTT has the whole internal mechanism, and there's everything, like the whole interior of the MTT is filled. If you want more information on that, check out my review. But then I feel like there are some good sets that are fairly priced, like the Jango Starship and the V19. Especially the V19, that one's really nice, especially the minifigures. So overall, I do think the August wave is nice. I don't think it's going to be like some people have been saying as the most controversial LEGO wave of all time. I don't think that's going to be the case, but it is also not the best one. We are not in the golden era of LEGO Star Wars, and I definitely feel like there is some room for improvement on LEGO's behalf. Well, folks, that is it for episode 2 of the Brick USA Q&A. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe down below to help us reach our goal of 100 subscribers. And while you're down there, please comment a question for next week's episode. I can't make Q&A videos without your guys' questions. But that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed all of the content. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed so far to help us reach our goal. And make sure you tune in for the next one.